It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 24th of May. I'm Michael Groff. Dry conditions, temperatures pretty close to seasonal averages today, although a trough will pass by to the north tomorrow, and that's going to usher in somewhat cooler temperatures, or at least we could say not as warm, along with breezy conditions, albeit no chance of precipitation. But that cool down, if you want to call it that, won't last long because temperatures will warm up and it'll get quite toasty as we go into next week. All right, we'll get into all of that in just a moment, but first, before we do, it is Friday, and that means it's Photo Friday here, and that's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted, and we are pretty light on content for this week, but David Parnell sends in some pictures going back in time to March 8th. And, you know, he loves his high school sports. This is Apollo High School where he went to. He was going to attend a softball game that night, but it got canceled due to lightning. And quite a bit of lightning at that, he says. So that certainly will put a damper on softball games, especially if you're using those aluminum bats. Probably not advisable to be playing out there, even if you weren't using aluminum bats. When the thunder roars, go indoors. That's what we always say about that. So we'd love to see some lightning around here. That's probably not something we're going to see for at least another 6 weeks, I would guess. All right, and then the one and only Michelle has some pictures. We were out with the Achilles group a couple weeks ago doing a walk. This is up there in North Phoenix by the canals, and there's some ducks. You got some baby ducks out there. Very nice. Then a picture of sunset, just after sunset from the Vicuiva Casino out on the west side. Look at that. Beautiful pictures. Michelle captured that very nicely. So there you go. That's it. That's all we've got for this week. You have anything you'd like to submit for Photo Friday? groffshow@gmail.com is the email address. That is groffshow@gmail.com for Photo Friday. Okay, let's get to it here. The almanac from yesterday, 98 degrees, the afternoon high, 70 the morning low, pretty close to the averages of 97 and 72. We're ahead on precipitation, and we will stay that way at least well into July, even if it doesn't rain another drop, and it probably won't for quite a while. Looking outside right now, here at 10:28 a.m., we've got a few high clouds right now. 88 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew points 29, so it's very dry. Humidity 12%, a light wind, the barometer steady. Here's your upper level weather pattern across the nation, and as has been the case for quite some time, active weather. And it continues for the Central Plains, and that's going to shift further into the Midwest. And maybe as far south as the Tennessee Valley, we've got some showers, thunderstorms ongoing, and the threat for some severe storms today as well with that area of low pressure over the Dakotas. But for us, yeah, it's a dry westerly flow. There is a little trough that's off to the west of us, and that's going to pass on by tomorrow, and that will bring us somewhat lower temperatures. I'd say about 10 degrees lower than what we experienced today. Well, 7 to 10 degrees lower than what we experienced today, along with some breeziness. The watch warning map, we've got wind advisories over the Dakotas. We've got some flood watches over parts of Iowa. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch for northern Illinois and some other flood watches around Memphis. We've got an excessive heat warning in South Texas. Down there in the lower Rio Grande Valley, we could see high temperatures this weekend peaking up toward 105 to 110 degrees. It is going to be sizzling down there, even hotter there than here, by quite a bit, actually. Red flag warnings for New Mexico and in far southeast Arizona because when you have the threat of breezy conditions along with very dry weather, warm temperatures, all that vegetation that's grown from the wetter winter that we had, well, that sets the stage for a high fire danger. Got some wind advisories as well for the parts of the Northwest Plateau, the Colorado River Valley, southeast California. Now, we don't have an air quality alert now, but if we look at the air quality forecast for next week here for Phoenix, or at least for the next 5 days, you can see they've projected ozone will elevate here as we go into Monday and Tuesday into the unhealthy range. So just something to be aware of for next week. We do expect high levels of ozone And so obviously the respiratory sufferers, you'll probably want to limit your outdoor activity Monday and Tuesday. And that's going to come along with the territory of much hotter temperatures and less breezes. The atmosphere will become fairly stagnant, relatively speaking. Convective outlook for today, we do have the enhanced risk of severe storms around Dallas-Fort Worth, as well as just to the north of or right bordering up onto the St. Louis area, the standard slight risk from North Texas all the way up in Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana. And the broader severe weather risk extends all the way over into parts of the Atlantic coast. Thunder possible north of Arizona, but we're not going to worry about that here. Precipitation outlook valid through Friday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, nothing. Region-wide, basically nothing. The main storm track stays to the north. We're in the heart of the dry season. Mid-May to mid-June is just the driest time historically here across most of the Southwest, and it looks like it's going to play out exactly how you would think it would for a while. Will it change? Let's take a look at the models, see what they say about the future. Here we go. This is the GFS. That's the Global Forecasting System. It's the American model. It's the primary model that we use here. At least one of our, it's our primary deterministic model that we use when we talk about weather here. Model discussion here on this channel. But there you go. This is valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Got one area of low pressure over the northern plains states. You got this trough back here out to the west of us, and what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today. How about mostly sunny sky? Yeah, a few high clouds around, yes. Otherwise, just some light afternoon breezes. High temperatures today, mid to upper 90s. I'd say 95 to 99. Could we hit 100? I guess. Somebody probably will in this state. Otherwise, for tonight, clear, breezy, overnight lows, low 60s to low 70s. And then tomorrow, got this trough passing on by, sunny to mostly sunny sky, breezy at times, and high temperatures come down a bit. Upper 80s, low 90s. Maybe 7 to 10 degrees cooler than what we've experienced today. Any rain chances stay pretty far to the north of us across Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, the Intermountain West. Now, once that trough passes on by, temperatures are going to recover pretty quickly because by Sunday, highs are back in the low to middle 90s. Sky sunny, air dry. Monday, upper 90s to about 103. And we're going to keep warming it up as we go to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Ridging sits right on top of us, sunny sky. Again, there could be some light afternoon breezes, but even at that, probably not much. Maybe wind gusts 10, 12 miles an hour, 15 at most, I'd say, at times. But overall, it's very typical late May weather, just a little bit above average temperature-wise, with highs 100 to 104 each day. And no chance of precipitation. Lows will generally be anywhere from about 66 to 74. So we're going to be in a very stagnant pattern here. Going out a week from today, this is Friday, the 31st, the last day of May. Now, we do have a trough coming into the western states, and the GFS depicts this being a little bit deeper than some of the previous runs. This run does anyway. Yeah, that's right. Temperatures would come down several degrees, and we'd see some breezy conditions, but no precipitation this far south. That just does not favor any rain for us. Just slightly lower temperatures, and we'll take that. Then going out 10 days. This is Sunday, the 2nd of June. That trough is off in the plain states, ridging building in behind it, dry west-northwest flow. And that looks rather warm and rather dry. All right, looking at temperature, or looking at precipitation, I just forget about these graphics because there's really nothing to talk about here. This goes out through the 7th of June, and this is off of the GFS ensemble. Precipitation here, forget it, just nothing. European ensemble, same thing, nothing to look at there. And temperatures now, here we go off the national blend of models. Memorial Day weekend, I mean, it's the unofficial start of summer, they say, and around here it usually really does signal the start of the long, hot summer. Now, it doesn't start out bad. Tomorrow, upper 80s, low 90s. But then we're going to warm up quickly in next week, and you can see that's consistency there. It's got us at 104 every single day. There'll be subtle variations in temperatures, 1 or 2 degrees, but overall, yeah, it's just going to be above average, not record-breaking heat, but above normal with dry conditions to continue. Overnight lows, mid-60s to mid-70s, depending on where you are in the valley. And rinse, repeat. And they say, how hard could it really be to forecast weather in Phoenix? Well, this time of the year, not very difficult. Not very difficult at all. We'll see about the monsoon. That remains to be seen if we'll have anything to talk about there. All right, that's it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video due back here on Monday morning. Yeah, I guess we'll get you a holiday weather update. Why not? Even though there's not going to be a whole lot of change, but still, we could see something to talk about there. We'll see what's going on weather-wise. Otherwise, if you enjoy these videos, and why wouldn't you, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. And if you really like what we do here, you want to go ahead and click that thanks icon below the video, make those monetary contributions to us, or you can donate directly to me via PayPal. Groffshow at gmail.com is the PayPal address. That's GROFF show at gmail.com for PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name. It's called Sweet Child Arizona. I'm talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Check out her videos linked up down below. And, of course, our streaming station available 24/7, 365, playing a ton of music, and that's always great. 6 decades worth of music, thousands of songs. It's wonderful. It's called KMGX. I highly encourage you to give that a listen, and your feedback about that, too. Always encouraged. Michelle probably saying, don't tell them the weather is boring around. I'm not saying it's boring. You know, I'm a weather geek, okay? I always think things are interesting. I can always find interesting stuff to talk about with weather. Even here in Phoenix, even in the month of May, even in the month of June, there's always stuff going on. But, you know, there's people out there that would probably beg to differ and say, no, there's really nothing. I mean, 104 degrees every day. Not that exciting. You never know, though. That's the thing about weather. The minute you think you start to figure it out, this science will humble you. All right. At any rate, thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. Now, I'll say this. Of course, we're going into a holiday weekend, and you know what that means. Please be safe out there. A lot of crazies. A lot of people doing a lot of crazy stuff out there. Doing the drinking and the driving and the whatever they're going to do because it's Memorial Day weekend. It's amateur hour out there, so I really want you to be safe. And, of course, if you're heading out, you're doing outdoor activities, even though it may not be as hot as it could be, stay cool, stay hydrated. And, yeah, I mean, you know, really, really, especially this weekend, man, my goodness. All right, and you guys have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful holiday weekend.